The latest iteration of Giovanni battles includes a Shadow Legendary that is actually worth getting, and I'm going to be telling you how you could defeat this version of Giovanni. Alright, how's it going everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula. I hope you're having a good day, and welcome to today's Pokemon GO video. So today we're going to be talking about Giovanni. This is a Pokemon battle that is extremely difficult, but if you can manage to pull it off, you're going to get yourself a very powerful Shadow Legendary. And this time around, Giovanni is going to be bringing Shadow Kyogre, and that is the legendary Pokemon that you could get. Do keep in mind that Giovanni is one of the toughest battles in Pokemon GO right now, so this is purely endgame content. It's going to be very difficult for newer players to actually take it down. But if you manage to do so, you're going to get yourself one of the most powerful Shadow Legendaries, and that is of course Shadow Kyogre. Now, there's going to be two parts to this video. First, I'm going to be telling you how you can get a Super Rocket Radar so that you could battle Giovanni. Currently, there is a step within the Timeless Travel Special Research where you could get yourself a Super Rocket Radar. And then second, I'm going to be telling you all the best counters going up against Giovanni and how you could best prepare going up against him. So if you've been keeping up with your Timeless Travel Special Research, you should be at Step 9, which is going to be tied to the current Team Go Rocket Takeover event. Step 9 is going to ask you to catch 15 Pokemon, spin 5 Pokestops and Gyms, and then battle 3 Team Go Rocket Grunts. Pretty straightforward. All you have to do is catch a bunch of Pokemon and spin a bunch of Pokestops, and then go out and battle 3 Team Go Rocket Grunts. Now, something you should keep in mind is that if you already have a Super Rocket Radar, then the decoy grunts will actually count towards this special research. So if you're not finding a whole bunch of Team Go Rocket grunt battles in your area, try putting on a Super Rocket Radar and seeing if there's any decoy grunts instead. And once you complete this step, you're going to move on to step number 10, which is going to ask you to catch 15 Pokemon, and then transfer 10 Pokemon, and then defeat 6 Team Go Rocket Grunts. Pretty much, it is exactly the same as step 9. You're basically going to be doing a bunch of the same tasks, but you're going to be doing more of them. Now, once you get a Rocket Radar from defeating those Grunts, make sure you hold on to that because the next step is going to ask you to defeat Arlo, Cliff, and Sierra. This means you will need 3 Rocket Radars, which you should have at least 2 of them by now by following this special research, and then you will need to defeat each of the 3 Team Go Rocket leaders. Completing the step is going to award you with a Super Rocket Radar, which you can then use to find and battle Giovanni. Of course, the special research continues onward after this, but none of them are related to the Team Go Rocket battles, so we will forgo talking about them. But next, let's talk about Giovanni himself. The lineup that Giovanni is going to bring was shaken up just a little bit, but it will always start off with Shadow Persian. That is of course because it is the iconic Pokemon that Giovanni has always had, so that means you will need to start off with a really good fighting type. This includes Lucario, Machamp, or Terrakion. All 3 of these Pokemon are going to be solid picks going up against Giovanni, and that is because you will try to deal as much fighting type damage as you can up against his first Pokemon. Ideally, you will want to deal a lot of chip damage as well as knock out both of his shields so that you could just nuke through the rest of his lineup. Now, the second Pokemon that Giovanni could bring includes Nidoking, Rhyperior, or Garchomp. There is one Pokemon that is going to be absolutely stellar against all of these Pokemon, and that is Swampert. If you happen to have yourself a high IV, high level Swampert with Hydro Cannon, you're going to be okay against all 3 of these Pokemon. Ideally, you will want to knock out Persian and get both shields down, and then switch over to Swampert to deal with the second Pokemon. That leaves us with the third Pokemon that Giovanni is going to bring, and that is of course Shadow Kyogre. The ideal Pokemon to bring, in my opinion, is going to be either Kartana or Zekrom. But of course, Kartana and Zekrom are both legendaries, and you may not have access to them right away. So a good alternative is of course going to be either Magnezone or Electivire, but just be aware that because Kyogre deals a lot of damage and also has incredible bulk, it can actually out DPS some of these Pokemon. So be very wary of that, but ideally you will want to go with whatever the best electric type or grass type you have in your collection. Right, so now that we talked about the counters for this Giovanni battle, let's actually do one live right now. So I have myself a Super Rocket Radar that you can see right here, and I'm waiting for the Team Go Rocket Balloon. I really hope it spawns. If that is the best way to get guaranteed Giovanni battles. If you have a Super Rocket Radar and you're not finding Giovanni, then simply wait for the next Team Go Rocket Balloon, because it is going to be a guaranteed Giovanni battle. Now, I did not set up my team yet for this battle, but let's see what I have from the last time. Yeah, you can see here I have Conkeldurr, Mewtwo, and Hydreigon. That is definitely not going to work. Let's go with Terrakion, and I will need to heal it up. And then let's go with Swampert. And finally, let's go with Kartana. Alright, now before we battle him, let's actually heal everything up. There we go, these are the two that we're going to be using. And here we go. First and foremost, we should be going up against Persian. There we go, boom. Just like Team Go Rocket leader battles, Giovanni is going to actually use shields when you use charge attacks. And the ideal scenario is to get both of them down before you get to the next Pokemon. And that's going to be very easy with a Pokemon like Terrakion with Sacred Sword. Now, something that I do is I typically let the second Pokemon in the lineup knock out the first Pokemon so that I don't actually use my switches. So yeah, there we go. I let Terrakion get defeated, and then I jump in with Swampert. And this should be super easy. Probably one Hydro Cannon will be enough. Oh, it wasn't, but it's pretty much done. There we go. All done. Now Kartana is going to jump in, and we're going to pretty much knock it out almost immediately. Once we get a... Oh, wow. Waterfall deals a lot of damage, by the way. Wow, I barely got there, but it only takes one Grass-type charge attack to knock it out. And there you go. Oh, one more sliver of health. There you go. Kyogre defeated, Giovanni defeated. Let's go pick up our Shadow Kyogre. Boom, there it is. Very low IVs. I wonder if I could throw this into like a trolling, oh gosh. Don't forget, you have a very limited number of balls. You gotta treat this like an actual legendary catch from a raid. That's bad. It does have the chance of running away, but I do think the catch rate is it guaranteed? I actually do not know. But there you go, Shadow Kyogre in the books. Let's see the IVs. Usually they're trash. Yep, they're trash. But there you have it. This is one of the most powerful Shadow legendaries in the game currently. And I'm really excited that I was finally able to get one. So there you have it, everyone. This is how you can pick up Shadow Kyogre right now with Giovanni battles. It is incredibly difficult, but if you have the right Pokemon, it's going to be as easy as you saw. I really do think this is one you should go after. Kyogre is a very powerful Pokemon on its own, but the Shadow version is going to deal an insane amount of damage. You will not want to miss out on this one. Even if the IVs are bad, you're still going to perform really well if you can max it out. So definitely go for this one. I highly suggest you do so, and I really hope this guide video was helpful on how you could defeat Giovanni battles. Just a reminder, Giovanni is endgame content, so if you are not able to defeat him with your current collection, do not worry, just use it as motivation to get better and harder hitting Pokemon. But that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding the current iteration of Giovanni down below. Is this a Shadow Pokemon that you are going to go after? I really suggest you do. But if you're not going to be, let me know down below why, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. If you ended up enjoying it and found it to be informative, hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to all my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, do consider becoming a patron on Patreon, because every single member of my Patreon family gets a permanent spot on my in-game friends list. So if you want to interact with me in some way within Pokemon Go, like with remote raids or the friendship system, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And yeah, if you want to support my channel in a different way, you can do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula, and I'm on the platforms that you see right here. Alright, and that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.